Life Cues, page 3, or prompt number 3. And as you can see on this side of the page here, I don't know if you can see, I have been journaling just what the page, the explanation of what the page is about. And same here, even though it's got a whole bunch of paint marks, doesn't matter. I know what it means. So that way I'm really using my book as both a journal, a written journal, and an art journal, which I absolutely love. So today, and you know I'm going to work and talk at the same time. That's my process. I'm just going to add some, I want a really light textured background. I don't want it to be too bumpy, but I just want a kind of a light textured background. So last week, actually just a couple of days ago, Deanne and I had the opportunity to see a play, Les Miserables. I'd seen it before with the Broadway touring company from New York. They tour across North America, and I'd seen the movie, and this was put on by a local high school. So I was really excited. I love Les Mis, and I really wanted to support local high school talent, you know, and were we, I should say, pleasantly surprised by the excellence of that musical. They did such a good job. And then when I left with this sense of, I was at the Arden Theatre in St. Albert, and I had taught dancing there and created a dance program for them. So I had this real sense of nostalgia for the theater. I love that theater. And also this sense of, gee, I sure miss doing musical theater. You know, it's such a passion. It really is. So anyway, yesterday, I was sitting at the boys' hockey game. I'm just getting some fluid gel medium. And this lady taps me on the shoulder. She's sitting behind me. And she goes, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm about 45 years old. And I think you were my first dance teacher at the Grandin Clubhouse. And I'm like, really? Because I must have taught well over 1,000 children in the city of St. Albert back in the day. And so I was like, oh, that's so cool. And she goes, it was so much fun and I loved it so much. And I just wanted to say hi. I wanted to make sure it was you and say hi. And I go, yeah, it's me. And then I started thinking how proud I was of that program that I literally created for the city of St. Albert. I had started teaching dancing when I had my children. I started teaching dancing in our basement because it was a great source of income, a great activity for all the kids, all 3 of them, and the neighborhood kids, and something that I had a real passion for, and I love doing it. And then I thought it got to be too much for our basement. Like there was just too many kids wanting to take the class. So I approached the Community Services Department of St. Albert and asked them would they be interested in this program that I call Dancing Dollies. And they said yes. And I mean, that thing filled up. I had so many classes. Oh my goodness, so many classes. I loved it. And as a matter of fact, we were, when the beautiful Arden Theatre opened up, and it was around Christmas time, my dance group, I guess, my kids, was the very first performance in the Arden Theatre, and we did the Nutcracker Suite, but it was done, you know, with little children. Like the soldiers wore rubber gumboots. Do you know what I mean? And it was, so I thought about that and I thought, you know, I bet you there's a lot of you out there that have done things that you're just proud of and you don't really think about it anymore as life goes on. Maybe it's something you've done in your past. You're often reminded, like I was of that from that lady. And sometimes with me, when I tend to not feel well, which is often, you almost forget that you have a sense of worth and that you have done something. You know, you almost feel like, what is the point? I always feel sick. What's the point of me? Even, you know, what's the point of all this nonsense? If you're chronically, especially if you have chronic illness, you kind of question, why do I have to go through this all the time? And that, she reminded me, you know what? You've done lots. You've accomplished lots. You've given to your community, and something to be proud of. So our prompt for this week, or this week, is I want you to toot your horn and share with all of us something you've done that you're proud of. So there's my background. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just one layer of paper towels and some masking tape. I'm trying to keep this area not so textured up for a reason. So I'll be back when this dries. There, this is such a fun way to create background. I don't know if you guys can see, because paper towels often have those little holes in them, and so it creates texture without it being too bumpy. I mean, sometimes I love bumpy, but not for this page. So the next thing I'm going to do is take some gesso, and I'm just going to paint over the stuff I just laid down on the page. And I always find this is where the magic happens, because everything is hidden. You can use anything for this. You can use, I've used old receipts in my purse. I kind of have a challenge, empty my purse onto my page kind of thing. String, anything that's going to give you some kind of cool texture. So it's relatively dry. So what I'm going to do now, make sure the camera doesn't fall, is use some of my homemade spray, Baja Breeze, and this pretty lavender lace. And I am going to just spray the background and try to pick up on some of that cool texture we have going on here. So pretty. I was thinking about some of my funny students. How cute kids are. They really, really are precious. So that woman just asking me about that class brought back all these beautiful memories. I guess we're going to have more purple than blue, because the blue, unless I have, let me see if I have another blue in here. Just play around with your background, you know. Ooh, I like what that's doing. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now I'm just gonna let this dry, and I'll be back. So here's my background. Isn't it pretty? And all that texture, and it's just very, very pretty and soft. Kind of what I wanted. Isn't that nice? It's hard to show with this book. I'll just turn it around because it's so big. There. But it just turned out so lovely. So that was just sprays and water, and then I let it dry, and then I finished the drying up with my heat gun. So I'm just going to put my book over to the side for a second. And then I've got some of this text paper. I think this was Stampin' Up! Scrapbook paper that had a whole bunch of text on it. And I've got this stamp set called Too Sweet. I don't know if you know. It is precious. Oh my goodness, so cute. This teddy bear one, and then Love You Too Much. I'm not using those stamps, but you can see better on that side. So for something different, I'm just going to stamp it onto text, and then I will fussy cut them out. I'll color them, and then I'll fussy cut them out, because I'm not a really good kind of, you know, those Copic marker kind of people. That's not Monica. don't know how to, never did get on that bandwagon and don't really know how to do it. So I've got all my images stamped on the newsprint, and over here, I think it's a little bit off out of frame. I'll move the mat over a little. Is my, I'm using watercolors. There, you can see them. And I just got them all there, and I'm going to blend away with just a brush. 2 reasons. I want to play with watercolors, and secondly, everything else is outside in the art cabin, and I don't feel like running out there and getting it. So I'm going to play with this and see. So I'm going to squirt some water. It's right there. Now remember, this is not watercolor paper, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work out, but we will make it work. That's what I say. There's no mistakes in art. First thing I'll do is the ballet shoes, because they're the littlest. Now, this is kind of a magenta color, but I'm trying to make a pink. So I just keep pulling some white into it. That's pretty, like a ballet pink. Yeah, that's perfect. And if I go over the lines, I'll just go over it with the pen. So there, isn't that pretty? Let's make the ribbons pink. I danced myself, obviously, if I taught, but not, I guess you have to have taught. But I danced for quite a while when I was younger. Okay, so this little tutu, I also want it to be pink. It's going to be sitting on the, it's on a hanger. So we'll make, I really want it water because I don't want to lose, oopsie, what I stamped. There, see, I can just dab it with paper towel and then you can still see the outlines. Yeah. Perfecto. This is fun. I was having a really yucky day because I wasn't feeling good, so this is fun. And I'll paint the little bodysuit. I'm glad that I chose to use newsprint underneath just for something different. Okay, I'm going to come back and paint her little t-shirt. See, she has a little kind of a t-shirt under her tutu. So let's move that over there with the shoes. After I paint our princess here, she's like the belle of the ball. Oop, we need some more color. Because I want to paint the other ballerina in a little bit different color. So I'm going to do her in lavender. Let's see if we get a pretty purple. So this watercolor over here is purple. Pull it out with some white. Keep bringing some more white into this. There we go, and then add some water. I want it even lighter. There we go. That's pretty. So she's lavender. Isn't that pretty? So I will be back after I've done I'm done painting all these little cheeky boos and all their little elements. So I found a whole bunch of different elements to help me finish off my page here. So you see I've colored my little girls. I'm not quite done. I'm going to detail them with some, you know, black felt pen. These guys, what do you call them? Faber-Castell pens. You see, they're so fine. So I'll go around them with that. But I wanted to have my little dollies. That's why I kept that kind of smooth, because I knew I was going to glue them down. So I'm going to glue down these girls with gel medium. But before I do, I'm going to give them a floor to stand on. And I have some music tape washi here. I'm just going to kind of put it at maybe like this. because she's off on her own little, you know, doing her own thing. So if I can get this started. I think they are preciously cute, these little girls. And let's give them a floor to perform or to dance on, and might as well be a floor of music. And it's not going to be straight, because why should it be straight? Because, you know, it's just not the way the world goes. There we go. And I will trim that in a second. And you can't even see there. Well, you still can't see. It's because the book is so huge. There's pros and cons to this book. I love using it because I don't normally use a book this big, but it's hard to get it in the camera. Let's see. Whoop, go way out more, Monica. There. See the music floor? Now you can see it. That's better. So I'm going to trim those ends off. And then she has her stuff hanging in the dance room. So I'm going to use that same music washi tape and just hang like a little piece right across. Her shoes are hanging. Her dress is hanging. These two little chickies are here. She's floating off into wherever. Chakotamy, as they say. And then I've got these words, and they're so sweet. And yeah, I'm curious to see something that you guys are proud of, because I am so proud of Dancing Dollies. I really am. I mean, that was many moons ago. Jessie was born, so it was definitely after 1980, because that's when he was born. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all my elements down and outline them and stuff, and then I'll be back. Okay, I added a whole bunch of elements on this page. I've got Dancing Dollies written there, the musical ceiling with the dress and the shoes hanging down, the little girl's on the floor, and then if you can see, she's kind of airborne, and there's little dotted lines like a tornado, like she's up in the air. These roses, just a piece of rose trim I just had, some chipboard flowers, and this here, and then the quote that says, dancing is dreaming with your feet, and too sweet. So what am I going to do now to tie all these elements together? This is what I find is the difference between a scrapbook page and an art journal page. They have to be tied together, because these are just separate elements stuck on a page. So I'm going to bring in the almighty gesso, and I'm going to kind of dry brush stuff till it all looks really good. Okay. So my gesso is over here, and I'm just gonna try to get this brush as dry. Grab a paper towel, so I don't want it sopping wet white. You know what I mean? I'll start on the flowers. To me, it makes such a difference when you add gesso to a page. It just, everything ties together. I'm not going to gesso over the words, because obviously, whoops, you won't be able to read them. So yeah, so if I'm going to toot my own horn, and what I'm proud of would be creating that dance program. Oh, these are chipboard corner thingies. I'm not gonna go over too much of this glittery stuff, because I kind of like the glitter, but just a tiny bit. I'm very proud of my little Dancing Dollies, and it was so nice to be reminded of that yesterday, and also the day we went to see that really good musical. So I hope you guys are remembering to go on the Facebook page. There's actually a what do you call it, an album there, and you don't need me to upload them. You can upload them yourself, unless you're not on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, then private message me and give me your picture and I'll upload it for you, which I've already done for some people. So, oh, I'm wiping out my doodle lines. I didn't want to do that. Can you see little doodle lines there? So I might re-doodle them. Go in between my little girls here. Try not to do too much gessoing, but just tone it down and tie it all together. And I also took a charcoal black pen and went all the way around the edges of the page, but now it is gessoed over. So there, I'm almost done. Even you can bring them into it a bit, but we don't want to lose their, you know, they're the key elements of the page. There. Be right back. The last thing I'm going to do is take this Tim Holtz background stamps, and I'm going to take this one. It's kind of like hashtags or screening almost, and just add it in some of the background places just to fill it in there, like right there. Perfect. And then over here, and I'll try and get the middle part there, and maybe down here, just a bit, and then in there. There. And I'd really like to have more black around the page, so I'm going to use my black distress ink for that, because the charcoal didn't really work for me. It's going to take it all around the edge of the book. Yeah, that's better. Oops, my corner came off. I'll glue them back on in a minute. There, that looks way better because it grounds the page for me. Just kind of adds a little bit of grounding. So let me just quickly glue back my corner piece here, and let's call this a day. Every time I say that, because oh, it's sticky. My grandson's name is Ade, so I say, let's call this Ade. His name is Ade, though. Okay. So here is my finished page. The prompt this week is toot your horn. What is something that you've done over your lifetime, even if you may not be doing it now, that you're very proud of? And mine is starting my Dancing Dolly program. Teaching all those kids and having so much fun with it, even though it was many, many years ago. So today's date is January 20th. There we go. So I hope you guys like my page, and I hope you guys please post. I'm just going to fix my doodle up here because I got whited out right there. There. They're fine now. There we go. So there's my page. Kind of crazy and wacky and fun and cute and all of the above. And it was fun to do. So we'll see you again next week. Bye.